I have just been sucked into this whole world. I want to meet the writer behind all this. I want to meet the mind that created all this.
How did Breaking Bad, the once barely viewed TV show, make its way to being the #1 rated TV show in history? This is the story of the genius behind Breaking Bad.
I was talking to a buddy of mine named Tom Schnauz. We were very much unemployed. He mentioned an article he had read. A guy had put a meth lab in the back of an RV. And this idea for this character who would do such a thing sprung into my head. And
once just a thought between two friends, Breaking Bad transitioned into something much, much more. It was now a blank canvas that the artist Vince Gilligan was set to paint. He said, "I never expected it to be a hit. It was just an experiment." So with his team of the best writers and the best actors he could have chosen, he set out on this experiment. Each episode would cost him $3 to $3.5 million, but when the show first aired, there was only 1.4 million viewers watching it live. Now that might sound like a lot, but it is nothing compared to where Breaking Bad is going in the next couple of years, and that's what we're going to talk about now. During the release of the first 3 seasons, Breaking Bad was only viewed by 1 to 1.5 million viewers live. That's not enough. So what did AMC do? Before releasing season 4, they put the first 3 seasons, they grabbed it and they put them straight onto Netflix. What happened? This is when Breaking Bad saw its first burst of success that threw it up there. What happened? By the end of the series, Breaking Bad, it started with 1.5 million viewers watching each episode to over 10 million people watching the final episode air. That is a massive jump. By this time, a measly 30-second ad spot would bring back $300 to $400,000. This show was a hit. DreamWorks' co-founder himself, he offered $75 million of his own money to just produce 3 more episodes, please. But the creators, Vince Gilligan, they declined the offer. You wanna know why? Because they wanted to keep this show's integrity. It wasn't just a cash cow to them. This was their piece of art that they've painted so carefully, so delicately on. Yet that burst of success looks like a grain of sand in the whole Sahara Desert when we look at the second burst of success Breaking Bad had. And I will tell you this, you can never just guess what caused it. See, whilst most TV shows, criminal TV shows, they have a dark tint throughout the whole show, Breaking Bad didn't. In fact, some imagery looked downright heavenly. It was not always dark and hellish. Some scenes made it genuinely look like a happy family. The head character wasn't much different from us. There was this touch of relatability. There was genuine emotional connection with the show through Walt's innocence, through Jesse's childishness, through Skyler's drama, through Holly's innocence, through Walt Jr.'s again problems. It felt like an emotionally complete family. All the characters, they were shown with deep emotional spectrum. You wouldn't just be watching some mindless thriller. It was a complete emotional package that would drive you into the whole life. That's what created its unbelievable rewatchability. But that is not what created its second burst of success. See, what brought this 2008 show to the top 3 charts, competing with many modern series, is one very strong aspect. See, whilst most series are one long, solid structure, Breaking Bad isn't. With most shows, if you break off one piece, it does not make sense to you. But Breaking Bad, it's built in individual micro thrillers in little blocks throughout the episode. You can take one 15-second clip out, put it on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and it will be a complete, emotionally compact story. And the reason behind this is just crazy smart. See, during the early 2000s to 2010s era, the viewer was very delicately watching your show. If they got bored for even 1 second, they just switched the channel like that. And the problem was there were very frequent, unskippable ad breaks, blocks throughout the whole show where there were going to be ads. So you had to maintain them, you had to hold them. How did Breaking Bad do that? They took the 140-minute episode and instead of making it be one long thriller, they made it be chunks of thrillers like that. And how they did that was so smart. See, they divided the whole episodes into 10 to 12-minute blocks. There were these micro thrillers. From 0 to 10, Walt would be fighting Tuco. You'd be thinking, damn, is he gonna win this fight? If he does, what is he gonna say to Jesse? From 10 to 20, he'd have won the fight and he'd be talking to Jesse and you might be thinking, God, what is he gonna do here? How's he gonna tell Skyler? And that is how the show would continue and hold you in. And not only that, have you noticed that Breaking Bad, it doesn't have boring conversations much. Every conversation is very straightforward, concise, and it keeps you hooked because of that. Not only did this increase the retention during the TV era, it made the show be a gold mine for the modern short-form content era. Here's why. It is full of piles of high-quality content that can hook the viewer from the start to the end without requiring any editing, cropping, or trimming effort. Why? Because the show did that themselves. And this is how Breaking Bad saw its second burst of success in 2020 to 2023. Short-form content has taken the show from a $2 to $3 billion franchise to being a $4 to $5 billion franchise. Because of this second burst of success in 2023, Breaking Bad garnered up 1 billion hours of watch time. That is unbelievable. This burst took the average watch time per year from 150 to 200 million hours to well above 500 million. And that is what took Breaking Bad, this 2008 show, to being the #1 rated IMDb show ever in history by a mile. What's bothering my mind is, do you think the cast drank Pepsi or Coca-Cola? I think they might have drank Pepsi because of this damn ad. It was so crazy, man. Learn about it here.